Kamala Harris soundly defeated Donald Trump September 10 in what is expected to be their only debate until the November 5th election. Although Trump's claim that unnamed polls show that he won that debate, that's not reality, as actual polls showed that less than a quarter of debate viewers thought Trump won. Now, a new poll by Reuters shows that Harris leads Trump 47 to 42% among registered voters, up from the 4-point lead that she had in late August when a national poll by Kaplan Strategies also had her up by 4 points. While Trump is one of the best-known politicians on the planet, Vice President Harris is significantly less defined in the eyes of voters. She's pitched herself as a prosecutor and a realist who can be trusted to use common sense, while Republicans say she's as liberal as it gets. Trump says she's even a communist and a Marxist and all that. Anyway, the election may rest on who ultimately does the best job of defining Kamala Harris. We'll take a deep dive into all of that with Doug Kaplan, president of Kaplan Strategies. Hey,
How are
Doug.
you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. What did you think of the performances by Trump and Harris in the debate?
I've watched many debates, and I watched all the debates before I was born, let's say Kennedy, Nixon, and I thought it was on par with that debate. I think Harris, in style and debate points, overwhelmingly won. I think they baited Trump psychologically on crowd sizes, on some different things, and I just think it was a tough night for Trump. The thing is how much will it affect the polling? And I think it'll affect the polling a few points.
Okay.
But more importantly, Kamala Harris had a goal. She had to sell herself to the American people.
Yeah.
And I think she probably did that.
Yeah. I had a doctor's appointment the other day. I was surprised at her response. She's a fairly young doctor, probably in her late 30s. And I was shocked. I asked her what she thought of the debate and saying she didn't want to talk politics and all that. I finally coaxed her into answering my question. And she said that she thought that Harris sounded like she was just really well prepared and that she'd never heard her speak so well. But she said that in a critical way. And that surprised me because why would you not want someone who is running for president of the United States to be well prepared? What if she's meeting with Putin? Don't you want her
Yeah,
prepared for that?
I think if you look at Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan going back in history, they both won the election based on debates. So did Kennedy. And it's such a different country right now. Trump's got a floor of about 45, 46, or 47 points. It just depends where he lands on whether or not he wins the presidency or not.
Do you feel like this debate performance, her good debate performance, his poor debate performance, will have a lasting effect on this election?
Yeah, I've thought about it, and I've thought about what other events, other than surprises, could turn the election. And since there's no more debates, this is the narrative. This is what people will remember.
Uh,
Joe Biden dropped out because of a debate.
right.
Harris is raising an extraordinarily huge amount of money. She's got Trump campaigning in North Carolina, so it's a tough map for the Republicans. They're all over the place, and they're being outspent. So I think if the election were today, Harris would win. But we still have 2 months to go, which is a lifetime in politics.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
little less than 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you think that her candidacy has changed the election picture? Trump's whining that he has to run against her now. They spend all this money to run against Biden, and now the Democrats ought to be repaying him back for that.
Yeah, listen, he spent a fortune having to deal with DeSantis and Nikki Haley and then getting ready for Biden.
Uh,
So now it's a completely different candidacy that he wasn't prepared for. And she had an advantage of not having to deal with a primary. So
yeah.
she really came out unscathed. So she's got a lot of advantages, I think, going into the election.
Yeah. Is the Harris campaign's effort to contrast her with Trump working? They're portraying her as joyful, upbeat, active, forward-looking, hip, and Trump comes off as being narc, nar- dark and negative with his messaging. And he's old, and it's showing. They're portraying him as losing his faculties. He sounds like he might be with some of the bizarre things he's talking about. What's your take on that?
But right now, Harris is winning because it's a change election, and it's really every day that it's about Donald Trump, every day she wins.
Uh-huh.
So Donald Trump has to make it about her. And he really hasn't been able to do that in the last 2 months that she's been in the race.
Yeah. He's trying to categorize Harris as a member of the liberal elite. Do you think that'll be effective, especially in swing states like Pennsylvania?
It's not working so far.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Republicans have made inflation a cornerstone of their campaign, blaming Biden and by extension Harris for high inflation. But things are improving. Gas prices are down. Interest rates are about to come down. The stock market's showing strong gains. Do you think their tactic will continue to work to blame the economy on Biden and Harris, especially if the economy is improving by election?
I'm not sure. Interest rates are about to come down. Like you said, gas prices are coming down. I think Biden made a big mistake where he basically took and owned inflation and didn't blame any of it on Trump
Yeah.
when saying, hey, you're the one who added $5 trillion to the deficit. These things were going to happen if I was in office or if I was not. But Biden never did that. He basically took the blame for all of it. I think it was interest rates have gone up. All
Yeah.
those things didn't happen under Trump. So I think that people do care about inflation. It's the housing costs and groceries, I
Hmm.
think, are the big issues. But I think Harris has a plan. She's talking about building 3 million new houses, and that's how you fix it.
Hmm.
And we'll see if people are listening and going for it. Right now, she has enthusiasm. She sold out 2 arenas yesterday in North Carolina, which is incredible. And she's got the energy and enthusiasm. You always want to have the momentum.
Yeah. Did you hear about Harris's use of some kind of a traveling billboard around the arena in Tucson where Trump was speaking? Did you hear about
No, I
that?
did not.
Yeah, they put together a bunch of clips from the debate and they put it in an electronic billboard
Okay.
that was in locations all around the circling the arena where Trump was speaking and played it over and over again all day yesterday. I just thought it was a riot.
He must have loved that.
I know it. I just finished doing a video about it. I thought it was really funny. Anyway, the other thing
Yeah.
too is the border crisis, immigration. Now, Trump says Harris wants an open border and to let criminals, rapists, and drug dealers into the country, while Harris blames Trump for killing a bipartisan immigration reform bill that would have helped ease the crisis. What are the implications of all of that in this election, do you think?
Immigration is a tricky issue because once the wall was a fringe issue, now plurality support it. But when we asked a recent poll, Kaplan Strategies, what was the most important issue, immigration came in number four. So they seem to have gotten the numbers down by
Uh-huh.
changing the ports of entries and making it a little bit harder
Yeah.
to come in for refugees. So I think that as long as the numbers stay down, I think it will help Harris.
Uh-huh. All right. So what were one, two, three, and four? What one, two, and three?
I would say off the top of my head, it was reproductive was the economy, inflation, and reproductive rights.
Okay. So we haven't talked about reproductive rights. How is that going to land? She killed, I thought she killed Trump on that issue during the debate.
Yeah, he was twisting in the wind on that issue.
Yeah.
And if women come out and say as important as we're told, if Harris is elected, that probably will be the reason.
Okay. Do you think that is the turning point? That could be the turning point of the election,
I thought
abortion.
Trump had a good 20 minutes. They both did okay the first 20 minutes. So she came in nervous. When they started talking about reproductive rights is when the debate changed. I thought, and then it went downhill from there for him. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's a very tough issue because he can't find a good position
No, he
that suits
can't.
his
I mean,
base.
and then he's got Vance. Trump's saying, no, I don't want a national ban. But his VP running mate Vance counters that and says, yeah, we do. What?
Yeah, it's all over the place in that issue. So it's real tough for them.
Yeah.
If they lose, that's going to be,
Was Vance a mistake, his picking him to be his running mate?
I don't know. I think maybe having Rubio running around probably would have been better.
Yeah.
But I think there were a couple of reasons that he picked Vance. I think Vance, remember, Donald Trump, if he's elected, is a lame duck. He only gets one term. So I don't think he wanted like a guy like Rubio running against him on day one. So I
Hmm.
think that's why he picked Vance. So I don't
Hmm.
think Vance is the heir apparent.
Yeah. Okay. Got you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what about Walls, though? Was he a good choice for Harris?
It was okay. I feel like she could have picked someone in Pennsylvania, Arizona, or North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
which could have given her those states. Why she didn't? If she loses, I think it could be because of that.
Huh.
Not because he's a bad candidate, but
Yeah.
you actually had candidates in those states: a governor of North Carolina, a senator in Arizona, and a governor in uh, Pennsylvania, Shapiro. I question that one.
Okay. I understand that. I've been impressed though with him. I didn't know much about
Absolutely.
him. I didn't know much about him at really at all before this, but I've been really impressed with him. I think he's come off well. I think people like him generally. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, and they'll have a debate October 1st, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So between Trump and Vance, they seem to be finding ways to alienate key voting groups like women, for example, and blacks. What do they need to do to overcome that?
They need to focus on the issues and not talk about conspiracy theories and all of that. I just don't
Hmm.
know if they're able to do that.
Hmm. Hmm. If you were advising them, what would be your advice?
I would go after Harris on the issues.
Huh?
Wouldn't call her dad a Marxist professor. So that would be one thing. For instance, in debate, he called her dad a Marxist professor. I would not go after her personally. I would go after her and her issues and her record as Attorney General, and I would find every illegal alien that was let out, that
Hmm.
murdered someone, and I would bring out those people. But they're not doing that for some reason. So I think it's just a personality contest.
Okay. So if you were advising Harris, what would be your advice to
Oh, just
Harris?
keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
And
what do you,
we'll do another poll next week, and we'll send it over to you.
okay, good. I'll be happy to see that.
Yeah.
Now, what do your polls show, Doug, about where younger voters are trending?
It's trending towards Harris. It just depends how many vote turn out.
Uh-huh.
Obama was able to turn them out, so we'll see if
Hmm.
Harris can do that.
If you follow social media, it looks to me like she's winning social media. Do you agree?
I think Obama transformed in 2008, Trump transformed it in 2016, and so far on the newer technologies like TikTok and all that, she's transforming it, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Well,
remember,
it's
Trump has a conflict. He's got his own social media company that's worth billions of dollars. So he's staying off of other social media.
yeah.
So that's a whole nother conundrum for him.
Yeah, and but his truths or whatever you call them on his Truth
Through
Social,
social, yeah.
yeah, they're being picked up
Sometimes,
by
yeah.
his supporters
Yeah, then
and
they get forward.
thrown up on Twitter.
The same, I don't think, but
Yeah. How about RFK Jr.'s endorsement of Trump? Did that make any difference?
no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Is he crazy, do you think?
No,
That's a fair question.
no, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. What about Taylor Swift's endorsement of Kamala,
I,
though?
I really think she's maybe the one person in America that can endorse and it would matter.
Yeah.
If she can get some of these women to turn out
Yeah.
that wouldn't normally turn out.
She's
In
got
some
millions of
It's
followers.
millions of Swifties.
Yeah,
It's its own cult. So she could, if someone could turn out people in those states, it's her.
yeah.
and get newly registered voters and all that. So I think it's a
Yeah.
wonderful, and I think it's a wonderful endorsement. And if she's active and seems like she will be participating, I think it's a big endorsement.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what's your prediction, Doug? Trump or Harris?
If the election were today, it was Harris. I don't know what's going to happen from now to October, but it's Harris if it's today.
Oh, you're not a prognosticator. You can't
No,
predict the
if it's
future.
today, it's Harris because
Yeah.
it's Harris. But
Yeah.
something could change.
Is it by a large margin right now, do you think?
No,
What do
no.
you think your poll is going to show? You said you're going to be doing a new poll in the next few
Remember,
days.
there's a 3-point handicap. For instance, the Democrats need to win by more than 3 points in order to win the swing states. If they don't, then they lose because of the national vote, because it's packed in Illinois and California and New York. So
Mhm.
Michigan and Arizona and Pennsylvania are very close. I would say 1-2 points. Harris will be out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
in
that's
those
interesting.
swing states, 5 points nationally. I think she'll
Oh,
be up 5
okay.
or 6 nationally,
Okay.
and 1 to
Which would
3
be
in swing
enough to
state.
do the job, right?
Right. She needs to be
Okay.
up about 4 or 5 points.
Yeah. All right. Got anything else you want to tell us about?
No, that just so yeah, to visit our website, Kaplan Strategies, or on my social media, it's Doug Kaplan or Kaplan Strategies. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, wait a minute. Before you go, let's talk a little bit about what you guys do, because I know that
Oh
you,
yeah, we help candidates get elected in
yeah,
America and Canada. We do
yeah.
polling and digital and all that sort of thing.
But you don't just work for Democrats, or you work for both parties, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
money's
Okay.
green.
Okay, there you go. All
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
All right. Listen, Doug, thank you. I really appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Right.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Lean to the Left video and that you found it interesting and informative. Please visit on a regular basis and check out our interviews with guests on topics that focus on progressive politics and the important social issues of our time. Now, our interview shows stream on Mondays with special episodes on Thursdays. And you can check out upcoming shows, guests, and topics at podcast.leantotheleft.net. Subscribe to our audio version there and to our video shows here at YouTube. And follow us on social media. Facebook at Bob Gaddy and the Lean to the Left podcast. Now it's two. Bob Gaddy is one Facebook page, and the Lean to the Left podcast is a second Facebook page. Twitter at Lean to the Left 1. Instagram at Lean to the Left 1, TikTok at Lean to the Left, LinkedIn at Bob Gaddy, and YouTube at Lean to the Left. Now, I hope you'll support Lean to the Left as well so we can keep things going. Just click on the Donate tab at the top of the leantotheleft.net homepage and contribute by buying me a cup of coffee. That'll really help and would be much, much, much appreciated. Now, this is Bob Gaddy signing off for Lean to the Left. Thanks for sharing your time with us.